Hello, my name is Emma, and today I'm going to be reporting on a growing threat to biodiversity in Hawaii, which unfortunately happens to be habitat loss. Islands are often hit the hardest. Due to their isolation from other land masses, the species evolve in unique ways. According to the Nature Conservancy of Hawaii, more than 10,000 native plants and animals are sheltered by Hawaii's forests, many of which are found nowhere else on Earth, although this delicate balance has been disrupted by human intervention over the past centuries. Hawaiian biodiversity began to take a massive toll around 1500 years ago with the arrival of humans, but it wasn't until the late 1700s that the most destructive forces began to occur. In 1793, Captain George Vancouver gifted King Kamehameha 12 cattle. The cattle known as Bos taurus was introduced to Hawaii's ecosystem. In order to protect this new food source, the king placed a kapu on hunting or killing the cattle, allowing their population to grow unchecked. Within 20 years, the small herd of 12 had multiplied to thousands of feral cows roaming the island. As the cattle population grew, so did the damage to Hawaii's fragile ecosystem. As the cattle began to graze, it led to a decline in the native vegetation. This is where habitat loss comes into play. They primarily grazed on introduced grasses such as Penicidum clandestinum or Digitera eriantha. They were introduced in the late 1800s as drought-resistant forage for livestock but were not native to Hawaii. As they fed, it caused significant damage to the native vegetation, especially plants like Metrosideros polymorpha. This vital native plant provides food and shelter for numerous other species, including native birds. However, the plants evolved in an environment without large herbivores. Without the natural defenses such as tough fibrous tissues or thorns, the trees are highly vulnerable to grazing or trampling by cattle. So, why does this matter? Why is biodiversity important? Biodiversity is critical to the health of an ecosystem. Hawaii tends to be a hotspot for adaptive radiation. This is a phenomenon where species evolve to occupy diverse habitats in response to their environment. However, with the introduction of cattle and other invasive species in Hawaii, the delicate balance that supports adaptive radiation has been disrupted. As small populations of native species become isolated due to habitat fragmentation, they are more vulnerable to the effects of genetic drift. This is a process where random changes in the genetic makeup of a population can lead to the reduced genetic diversity, making the species more susceptible to diseases and other environmental pressures. The loss of any individual or group can have cascading effects on the entire ecosystem. In conclusion, the introduction of livestock to Hawaii has caused severe and long-lasting effects to the native ecosystems. The cattle have led to severe habitat loss. This negatively affects the native plants and animals in Hawaii that rely on them. If we don't take action to help protect and restore these unique ecosystems, Hawaii's biodiversity may continue to decline, losing not only its native species, but the ecological balance that has existed for millions of years. This has been your update on the growing threat to microdiversity in Hawaii. Thank you so much for watching.